sound of a creaking door, followed by a faint, tinkling music box melody that fades in and out. Have you ever had a toy that seemed alive? Not in a fun Toy Story kind of way, but in a way that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Let me tell you about Lily. Lily wasn't just any doll, she was a porcelain doll. One of those antique ones with glass eyes that seemed to follow you around the room. My grandmother gave her to me. She'd found her at an old, dusty estate sale, tucked away in an attic trunk. She looked lonely, Grandma had said, smiling. I thought she needed a home, if only she'd known. From the moment Lily entered my room, things felt off. It started small. I'd leave her sitting on the armchair, facing the window, and come back to find her staring directly at my bed. I brushed it off at first. Maybe I just didn't remember moving her. Maybe the cat knocked her over. Simple explanations, right? But then the whispers started, faint, like the rustling of dry leaves right on the edge of hearing. I'd be doing my homework, the house completely silent, and I'd hear it. A soft, sibilant sound, almost like a name. My name. I'd freeze listening, but it would be gone as quickly as it came. My parents thought I was just being imaginative. It's an old house, honey, my dad would say. They make noises. Into the real turning point, the moment I went from feeling uneasy to being truly terrified, was the night of the lullaby. I woke up in the middle of the night, not with a jolt, but slowly, as if being gently pulled from a dream.
And that's when I heard it. A music box lullaby, tinkling softly from the corner of my room.
The same corner where Lily sat in her little wooden chair. Her head, which had been facing forward when I went to sleep, was now tilted, her glassy eyes fixed directly on me in the moonlight, filtering through the window. My blood ran cold.
I knew for a fact that this doll had no music box inside her. I'd inspected her a dozen times.
Dozen times. She was just porcelain, fabric, and stuffing. I laid there, frozen, for what felt like hours, listening to that impossible melody fill the silence, my heart hammering against my ribs. I couldn't even scream. I just stared back into those empty, unblinking eyes. The next morning, I told my parents I didn't want the doll anymore. I was hysterical, crying, begging them to get rid of her. Seeing how genuinely terrified I was, they finally agreed. My dad took Lily, wrapped her in a black trash bag, and put her out with the garbage. I watched from my window as the garbage truck came and hauled her away. The relief I felt was immense. I thought it was over. That night, I slept soundly for the first time in weeks. No whispers, no strange noises, just peace. Until around 3 in the morning. Pause, let the silence hang. I was woken up by a sound, a faint, familiar tinkling sound. It wasn't coming from the corner of my room this time. It was coming from right beside my bed. Whisper. I slowly, so slowly turned my head on my pillow. And there she was, Lily, sitting on my nightstand. She was filthy, covered in grime and coffee grounds from the trash. One of her porcelain legs was cracked, and her head was tilted at an unnatural angle. The music box lullaby was louder now, clearer, and it was definitely coming from her. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that her painted-on, placid smile had changed. The corners of her lips were turned up just slightly into a knowing, malicious smirk. And as I stared, paralyzed with a fear so absolute it felt like ice in my veins, her little porcelain hand began to slowly lift from her lap.